Okay, and welcome back for the Mobile Game Fanatics on MyTyme WWE Supercard. Unfortunately, this is like recording 2 of this because we had a few little errors. So I'm going to make this a more concise version of the original video because I don't want to go through it all again and again. The first point I was going to talk about was King of the Ring. I need to energize in this one, okay? I'm really low, I'll show you. I need to get energizing and see if I can actually do something in this one. But I'm on the back of a very disappointing King of the Ring where I went to work. I was doing stuff I wouldn't normally been doing. I was in when I wasn't meant to be in. I completely forgot. I've logged onto this. I was destroying it to the extent I was 16-1. I then just let it go. Ended with like 8 or 9 defeats. Still finished first. And quarterfinals, I've come back and I've joined in game 2. 9 minutes 30 remaining. Lost the first game 3-2 with no energy, and he's got like this much out of the full bar on these people. I see myself go 3-0 down and that's it. I just go whatever. I didn't even check to see if he energized, and I can't even remember what the final score was. Claim my reward, WrestleMania cards, Devon Dudley again. How many Devon Dudleys do I get? I mean, what is wrong with the game? I mean, I don't care. Give me something I can use. Give me Kane. I don't care. Just, why does it always have to be Devon Dudley? Yeah, anyway, so I'm back in this in a bit of tilt now, so that's that. Glad I had to talk about that again. Depressed me. Well, it depressed me the first time when I did this. Okay, let's go to team events. Something else more depressing. A summarised version of what I said before. We didn't get the legendary card. Okay, I put in 200 points. I wasted 60 or so title matches. During the Monday, in the early hours of the morning, I was top with 200 points. There was only at that stage really CM Punk, Sandro Paul played a little bit. Most of the people hadn't really played much. Fred had played a little bit, and that was it. And I just realised we weren't going to get that Undertaker card, so I just gave up. Look at these people here just trying to get a free ride. I gave up, and even after giving up and not playing, none of these people pretty much eclipsed me. So unfortunately, I'm going to be leaving this team. I do have a team to potentially join, TBE Gaming, who has commented on 1 or 2 of my videos about it. Once the event's over, I'm going to see if I can join their team for next event. If that doesn't happen next couple of days and there's not a slot there and you guys are looking for someone else, please let me know, because I do participate in the team events as long as the team participates, okay? If it's a case of like nobody's really making an effort, then I'm not going to go out of my way. So with that said, we come into Road to Glory, and we're going to have a little look through the cards and go from epic upwards. We've got Seth Rollins, Triple H, which for some people, these two have been rewards and login rewards. So for some of you, hopefully they'll be pros. If you don't play the game as much, you're a casual player, might be able to push you up towards that Survivor tier, etc. Even WrestleMania tier as we approach Season 3. We got Cesaro and a Sheamus reward for the Survivor WrestleMania, which is a bit of a shame. We look at Big E for SummerSlam, which isn't a great card, but I like the image. I like the card. I want to get this card, so I'm going to work to try and get this card. Although I am working for 2 days over the weekend, so if I don't get it by Friday, early Saturday, I'm going to struggle, but I will try and get it. Then you've got the Sasha Banks. Now, I'm not so worried about Sasha Banks because I didn't get the Pro from the Divas PCC. Same kind of idea. Had a Manix last Sunday, and work was for, 18 hours or something was at work, and as a result I knew I wasn't going to get this card. Will I get the single? If I've got the time, if I get through it really easily, really well, maybe I'll try and get her, because she technically would still go into my King of the Ring at the moment, because I've only got that one WrestleMania Diva Pro, so I'm lacking on those divas. I am 19 hours away from my 3rd fusion, and I never thought I'd say this. For once, I actually want to see Sami Zayn come out of the rewards, so we'll be getting that up in the next video. It'll probably be in a couple of days time. I'm going to do that along with show some progress towards the Money in the Bank, and the Money in the Bank has new rewards. Now before we click on those rewards, I'm going to show you that it says it expires in 29 days. Now that does not mean that Season 3 will be coming in 29 days time, or it's at least 29 days until we see Season 3. It has been confirmed that Money in the Bank contracts, so the 10,000 I got at the moment, will transfer over, so they can release Season 3. You update it, it's the same app, everything gets updated, blah blah blah, and you will come back and continue fighting for these round of rewards, and then in the next Money in the Bank they'll introduce the new rewards, which will have the new tiers, etc etc. That's what I believe is going to happen. Now, I didn't get that Chris Jericho card, as you can probably tell by me still having 10,000 contracts. I kind of just slacked off of it, realised I wasn't going to put the effort in to get it. I am going to get a pro of one of these two, and then I'm going to see, I might try and save up my contracts to keep for the next Money in the Bank. So hopefully there'll be rewards in the next tier or whatever it will be that comes out, and I want to try and get those as soon as possible. If I can get a lot of contracts, then that'll be my aim. There is a part of me that said if I don't play it as much that I might just save these contracts up. So I'm probably not going to get the card today, because, or one of the rewards today, one of the first rewards, and then use it and start leveling it up in the event, because I want to see how many of the Money in the Bank games I actually play. I'm going to have to play about 28,000 contracts worth to be able to get the pro, and then have enough stored to try and get an early pro in the next Money in the Bank. But we'll see. Let's just go into it and see what is up for grabs. Now, two cards, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles. I'm going to show them both very quickly. And we click on here. This is the Dolph card. It does look quite a lot like the WrestleMania card, but I really like the colour. I like the blues and that again. I think it looks really awesome. And you've got this AJ Styles card, which again looks really, really awesome. The WWE Championship, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a card that a lot of people want. Now, my reasoning, who am I going for? I'm going for Ziggler. The reason I'm going for Ziggler is because it will kind of depend on you guys as well, how far you are, what cards you got in your deck, etc, etc. But I'm going for Ziggler because of his stats. And we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's just look at the undercard. You've got Baron Corbin here, who is a pretty... He's not a weak... Well, yeah, okay. He's not a good card in SummerSlam. Okay, he's not the worst, but he's not a great card. So I don't think many people will be going for him for pro. You come down to Jimmy Uso, and he's in exactly the same category. He's probably worse than Baron Corbin in terms of WrestleMania, where he ranks, and Baron Corbin in SummerSlam. You've got Triple H, you've got Nikki Bella, you've got John Cena. You know, you've got some good rewards here. If you are new to the game, maybe I'd recommend going for the legendary Nikki Bella. If you need divas, that will help you massively. If you know you're nowhere near getting enough contracts for the top things, don't worry about saving your contracts up. Get cards that will help you now. Triple H is a very good card in Survivor tier. One of the top cards. You know, use your contracts, get some cards that are going to help you progress towards some tier, rather than just hoarding all those contracts until you get there and then trying to get a pro. If you speed your progression up to it, you can be playing more games in top tiers and exhibition, etc., and you've got more chance of getting drops and resets, etc. Give you that chance to get a normal pro in the tier, which will help you, you know, quite a lot as well. So let's go back to Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles. Which one am I going for? Dolph Ziggler. Now, I'm just going to quickly go to AJ Styles and explain why I'm not going for him. AJ Styles is a power and speed card. I got the Randy Orton card. I didn't get the Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is incompatible both for these cards. Both of these cards for the tag are both white arrows. So there is no favoritism in terms of arrows. Now, power and speed is exactly the same as Randy Orton. If we go to Dolph Ziggler, he is speed and charisma. Now, the fact that I missed out on getting that, or I didn't end up getting, so I didn't miss out on it, I didn't put the effort in to get that Chris Jericho card, means that I would quite like to take the charisma aspect of Dolph Ziggler. There's a lot of those cards, you know, the Brock Lesnar one is toughness and power. Yes, if I come up against other Chris Jerichos, maybe a lot of them will have a lot of charisma. But based on what I've currently got to work with, I need charisma. I've only got two pros. One is that Randy Orton card, one is Dean Ambrose. You know, got power, toughness and speed all sorted there, no charisma. So Dolph Ziggler is my choice for that reason. Now, I do imagine a lot of you guys will go for the AJ Styles card because of this WWE belt, because he is a fan favourite, and I can understand why you then want that card. And he isn't a bad card, but I will just explain as to why I wouldn't pick him. So, his power is 2157, toughness 2062, 2184 and 2103. Okay? Basic stats. If we go back to Dolph Ziggler, you've got 2089, 2116, 2170 and 2143. Now at first glance it does look like AJ Styles is stronger overall. It looks like he's got a few more stat points knocking around, but if we look back at it, okay, Dolph Ziggler will lose to AJ Styles in power. Okay, so that's going to give AJ Styles the priority there, because you can proc in it, Dolph loses. Neither of them are toughness cards. Dolph Ziggler's base toughness 2116, And if we compare that to AJ Styles, 2062. So Dolph Ziggler is quite a bit stronger in the toughness category, okay, without any stats put on them. So that makes them 1-1. AJ Styles 2103 in charisma. Ziggler 2143 naturally, and he can proc in charisma. So that gives Dolph the 2-1 advantage. Now the key goes down to speed. Dolph 2170, AJ 2184. So they are 2-2 when it comes to stats on face value. But if you look at it closer, very few people are probably going to put any toughness into AJ Styles, which means Dolph Ziggler is always going to win the toughness battle. He's always going to lose the power battle, and he's always pretty much going to win the charisma battle, because you're going to put some charisma in Dolph Ziggler. So even if somebody puts charisma in AJ Styles, they're probably going to still lose to your Ziggler. If they put charisma, if they put it in charisma and toughness to try and beat you, and then you put some in your speed, you can beat them in speed. So you can beat AJ Styles naturally in speed by just proccing. If you proc and he doesn't proc, if these cards just face off now and it was speed, if Dolph procs, he wins. Okay, he loses power, he wins toughness, he wins charisma, and he wins speed if he procs as it currently stands, which means you can free stat Dolph Ziggler over that AJ Styles card. So I'm going to pick Ziggler not just because it's speed and charisma and I want the charisma attribute, but because you can build him to free stat AJ Styles and you just basically lose in power. If you just give up with Dolph Ziggler's power, if you just focus on building that charisma and speed, you know, this, I will probably make him, for that reason, a speed card. I will probably put as many of the tokens as I can into speed, max that out, put a reasonable amount into charisma, and I would be tempted to possibly put 1 or 2 tokens into the toughness. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet, but I'm definitely going to put a bit into the speed. And then, yes, my Randy Orton card is a speed, I know, but he needs that charisma as well. So we're not going to skimp on the charisma. It'll be charisma, speed, maybe a little bit in toughness. We'll see when we get to that stage. And you're going to beat pretty much the majority of AJ Styles in 3 or 4 stats. Okay, so that's my reason for picking Dolph Ziggler. Let me know in the comments below what you're going to go for. If you agree with my theory, if you don't, obviously if you just like a card over another card, I actually don't mind Dolph Ziggler, so I probably would have picked him over AJ Styles for that reason. But I did until I saw the stats, and when I had a look at it, I was like, oh, there actually is a legitimate reason to pick Dolph Ziggler if you're going to go for those cards. So I'm going to get back to playing some games, train up a few cards for the next Road to the Glory to see if I can get that Big E card a bit easier. I've got a few more WrestleMania Pros that I can put in, and I'm also going to get to work on a few more contracts. So before I buy that first Dolph card, I'm going to see how quickly I accumulate these contracts and work out if it's going to be worth me getting this card or if it's going to be worth me just saving up for the next one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. With that said, I've been MyTyme. Thank you very much for watching. See you all soon.